Just finished Fast and Furious 9. Got back home to LA, so I'm just chilling right now.
Oh wow, you're working on that movie?
Well, I finished it. We finished it. I was in London for 7.5 months.
Wow.
We just got back like 3 weeks ago. And we had a couple of weeks here in town at Irwindale Speedway. We did a big flashback race sequence there.
Awesome. So, are you like a stunt driver? Are you just doing like fight scenes, or?
No, I'm the stunt coordinator and the second year director. I direct the action. I'm the action director now. When we did the Mortal Kombat, because on the first Mortal Kombat was 96 or 95, and the second one was 97. And I'd just been out of the Army for a couple of years when I got into the stunt business. So those are the ones. But back then I was a stuntman, but I'm 52 now, bro. So it's hard to it's hard to stunt still, I'm getting a little up there in the years. So now I hire all the badasses and have them do it for me.
That sounds like a good way to do things. Could you go into your MK history a little bit? Like, when did you first start getting into that?
Let's see, I did the first one. I was Johnny Cage's stunt double. And then I was Scorpion and Cyrex and Noob Saibot and one of the Barakas and an indie stuntman in the second one. And I was Kung Lao's double for the first 9 episodes of the TV series, and I was also Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And I doubled a bunch of people on it as well. So that was my Mortal Kombat experience. They called me for the movie that they were going to do, but I was busy on a bigger show, so I couldn't go be the stunt coordinator and the second year director. They were offering me a job, but I couldn't do it.
Oh wow, that would have been cool if you could have.
Yeah, I wish I could have, but my impression is because I'm still good friends with Larry Kazanoff, and I've seen a few renditions of this. The one that was on the internet a while back that Joe Chancharon or the Chancharon kid did, and some of my friends did it. Larnell Stovall and them did it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard to capture what the original Mortal Kombat fans liked with a remake.
Yeah, everyone's got high expectations.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's good.
Was it hard to move around and do stunts and things like that in those costumes? What was that like?
The costumes, I can tell you that the Cyrex costume wasn't very user-friendly. I got cut up pretty bad. My face cut from the inside of the helmet.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't really designed to fight in. And I got, it wasn't a costume that people designed to fight in. It was difficult. And the Barakas, I don't know if you remember the Barakas in the second movie.
Yeah, it was terrible.
We shot the Cyrex sequence, we shot in London in the wintertime, so it was cold outside. But that Baraka sequence we shot in Thailand in August, and this old rice factory. And it was like 110 degrees, 120 degrees in there.
Oh my goodness!
And we had those big rubber heads on, and those big rubber hands, and those big rubber heads. It took like 3 hours to get that on every morning, and 2 hours to get it off. It was hardcore. We were really, really tired.
I bet.
Yeah.
But I seen photos of people that own the costumes now, and the reptile outfit is faded so much that it looks yellow underneath, and it looks like it was the Scorpion, outfit
costume
painted over green, and like they reused it.
It could have been, but like I don't know about that for sure. Like, look, Larry Kazanoff was the producer. He had produced like True Lies. He had money. I think the budget on the second one was probably $25 million because we shot it in 3 countries. We shot it in London, Thailand, and in Jordan. We're all over across the world doing it. So I think he probably, because I know that a lot of the costumes were costume design, I think he probably didn't recycle them for Mortal Kombat 2. Maybe on Mortal Kombat 1. I can't vouch for that for sure, but I don't think for 2, because 2 had more of a budget.
Now, do you do any like Comic Con appearances, or is that something you've ever thought about?
I'll just be honest with you, I don't, and I'll tell you why. Like, I'm not really in this game for the fame. I'm not an actor. I'm a stunt coordinator, action director, stunt performer. That was my go-to. And the real juice for me, what I love the most is going to cool places and doing a bunch of wild action shit with my friends and making a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like the actors kind of bask in that fame thing. I was in the Army before this, dude, and I was an amateur fighter. Like, as an amateur fighter, you fight because you love to fight. You don't make any money,
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I'm not really into the fame, like I let the actors have that.
Well, I was only asking because like once a year or so they have this thing called a Combat Con or something like that in Chicago, where they get like anyone that's had anything to do with Mortal Kombat together, and the fans can come out and meet and all that kind of stuff.
Well, put my name forward, and if they want to fly me out there, I'll come out because I love Chicago. Good barbecue out there. Good
all right.
pizza.
I'll pass that along.
Give him my number. Now you have my number. Give him my number. Tell him to call me. Fly me out. I'll be happy to come out there and cut it up with you guys. We'll do shots. You can do shots with fucking Cyrex. Tequila shots with Cyrex.
That'd be amazing.
Awesome.
You were, the stuntman in the first two, and then you moved into actual acting as Sub-Zero for the TV show. Was that something that kind of threw you off? Like, did you enjoy the actual acting?
No, it was cool. And I gotta say, like the Scorpion in number 2 and Cyrex in number 2, that was kind of the same thing because it was me the whole time. It wasn't doubling anyone. It was just me. But yeah, it was cool to it was a cool thing. It was probably 1996 or 97. We were in Florida. Right after I finished that show, I went to Walker, Texas Ranger for like 3 years and did over 100 episodes of Walker. So I just had this mad run, and I was in Florida for like 9 months doing Mortal Kombat, and then went right to Texas, and that's where I'm from originally, is Texas. Went right there for 3 years, which was super cool. But no, I was super. Larry, I was in really good shape back then. Larry was like, he was having a hard time casting someone for Sub-Zero, and he was hounding me about it. He's like, "Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it?" And I was like, "Man, I suck as an actor. I'm not any good." He goes, "No, I'll do it. We'll coach you. It'll be great. You'll have fun. It'll be something you can look back on when you're older." So he was right. I enjoyed it. It was cool. Like all the guys that work for me now tease me about it, but it's a lot of fun.
I thought you did a pretty good job.
No,
I mean, Keith's amazing, but I just thought you did a better job at playing that character.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That's all. I'm honored.
So out of all the stuff that you've done, like what's the thing that you're most proud of, like of all the stunt work and everything?
Oh, man, I'm proud of the John Wick movies because I just did John Wick movies. I'm also proud of a movie called Warrior, Undisputed 2. There's a bunch of movies because I've done like 130 or 150 films and over 300 episodes of TV. So I'm like proud of everything, but the ones that really stand out to me are movies like Warrior or like John Wick 1, John Wick 2, like Fast and Furious. I just did a movie last year called Bloodshot that's going to come out pretty soon. It's going to be pretty sick.
So
it's all, it's all good. Like I'm proud of all of it. Like I never thought I'd be this fortunate to be able to do this kind of work. So, getting that opportunity to do that kind of work for me was, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I was in the Army before this, so, that's a whole different motherfucker within the Army. It's real shit,
Yeah. You guys are really like the real heroes of the movies too. Like you guys don't get nowhere near enough credit that y'all fucking, need.
Yeah, but for me, it's like, again, it goes back to that actor thing. I don't really care. I'm not in it for the trophies or the fame, man. I'm in it for the money and the rush of doing some crazy shit with my friends. And we get plenty of that. So like I get paid that way. Like the actors, all the stunt guys go, "Hey, we should get an Oscar," but they'll never give us an Oscar. And I always tell them why. They'll never give us an Oscar because if they give us an Oscar, when it says the actor didn't do it and the director didn't think of it. And they're never going to share that because there's way too much ego in our business. Like, the actors have a ton of ego, the directors have a ton of ego. So I just like, keep your ego, keep your trophies, give me the money, and I'll be happy.
For real. So since you just wrapped up the Fast and the Furious, what do you have coming up next? You got anything down the pipeline?
Yeah, so I just finished Fast 9. I'm actually leaving for Atlanta on Thursday to do a movie called Samaritan with Stallone. It's a great script, Samaritan. MGM's producing it. We shoot it in Atlanta. And then, and then I've got a bunch of things cooking for next year. I'll probably be on that show for like 4 months, and I've got a bunch of stuff cooking for next year, big stuff.
Amazing, man. You're a busy man.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to keep myself busy, baby. Now it goes show business.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time to answer these for me, man.
No worries, bro. No worries. I'm just not really good at, I won't ever answer those things. And look, I'm honored that somebody's interested in Mortal Kombat still.
Yeah, there's a lot of us, man. I'm telling you. There's a lot still out there.
That's cool. Well, I hope they do you guys justice. I hope they do you guys right on the remake.
All right, man.
Cool.
Well, I'll let you go here.
Well, listen, man. No problem. You got my number. If you have any more questions, call me, text me first, and give me a call. I'll be happy to answer for you.
All right, man. I really appreciate that. You're cool as hell.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. Catch up. Later.
Later.